Hey, Greta wants to see you real quick.
Okay.
You can go through here. Did the bells ring? I didn't think they did, right? What's that? Yeah, right. There we go. No, she is. She's just absent today. Okay, please wear it. Please wear it. Please wear it. Ah, just needed to restart. If you, no, it's fine. If that's cool. Hi, Maggie.
Hey,
What's happening?
not much.
Did you have a good weekend? Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Cool. Right on. Hi, everyone. I have something for you. Maggie, we'll figure out how to do this for you in a second. All right. Usually I do this at the end of the year. I'm doing it now. This is your first assignment of the week. You know about this thing?
Yes.
Didn't get to do it last year. It's a major bummer. Okay? I want to do it now before life happens. Right? Okay? So I'm going to give every single one of you a white tube sock. Do you think you have a white tube sock at home, Maggie? Or do you want? If you don't, I can give you one. It's got to be, it doesn't have to be brand new, but if it's mostly white, that would be awesome. If you don't have one, you can figure it out. I wonder if I could drop it by the office and give it to your dad. Maybe I could do that.
I can look for one. I'm sure I have one.
Okay, you look, and if not, then I can give you one. Okay. There you go. This, by the way, this is the only one you're gonna get. Don't come to me later and be like, I can't have this. Okay, because I spent my hard-earned teacher money. College, yeah. You get the floor sauce. I did sanitize my hands. What's that? I'll tell you in a second.
I gotta look at life like you're here for a good time, not a long time. Okay.
I thought it was cold shit.
Like, do you drink Banks?
No.
I hate Banks. I could not finish.
Yeah. Oh, did I forget you? Sorry. Sorry. Did I forget Logan? Logan, did I give you one? How did I forget you, Eric? Sorry. Does everybody have a sock? Everybody's got a sock? All right. Now, here's your goal by Friday. I'll give you 30 points for this. We'll consider just a regular homework assignment, okay? By Friday, I want you to bring this sock in to me after you've had it on the tailpipe of your vehicle, okay? Now, okay, what's that going to look like? Okay, what's that? Yeah, it could be. I want you, if this is your tailpipe, try to get it, something like this, okay? You don't have to put it like right up to the edge. You might end up burning some off right there. By the way, this is not going to hurt your car. Enough air gets through there that it's not going to explode your car. I've never had a car explode on the way after putting this on, okay? So we are going to look at the air particles that are coming out of your vehicle. Now, where do I want you to drive? I want you to only drive on your way to school. Okay, so you put this in the morning. This is why I'm giving you today and giving you till Friday in case you forget. Okay, so what's that? What? Okay, that's perfect. Okay, I am more curious about yours than anyone else's. I had a kid that lived just, where Tasha Brubaker lives? Right over here. Okay, she lives in this yellow house like right next to the high school. She drove from like her front and then like over here, and hers was not as good as you would think, like compared with people who have driven much further. Okay, I've had people drive from Huntington that look better than people that are driving in town. Okay, it's more about your car than it is how far you have to drive. Okay, does anybody not drive? Anybody not drive to school? Okay, you don't drive to school.
But I can still do it.
Okay, you can still do it. You got what's that? How do you get to school? Okay, you can do bus. So can you do you drive at all? Okay, can you maybe let me figure out what you can do. Okay, anybody else no drivers? Okay, all right. Do you ride with somebody? Okay, do you bus too? You do bus too? Okay, we'll figure out what to do with you. All right. Okay, and then we'll start to compare them. I want to know, I'll give you a piece of tape, okay, and on that piece of tape, you'll put your name and then also your, I like the make and year of your car. So Honda 87. After you come back. So you get it, I'll give you a piece of tape, masking tape, you'll put like your name and then your.
Oh yeah, do you want how many miles we go with that?
I don't know, that'd be cool. I mean, if you want to. How many miles? Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
So we take it off after we drive here.
Yep.
And we don't.
And then
we only do it one day.
just do it one day.
Okay.
One
We'll just
morning.
leave it here after we do it.
And you just leave it here. I'm gonna put them back on that back table and we're gonna look and we're gonna compare them all together. Probably what I'll do is you can put it back on that back table and then I'll take a picture of it. I don't know.
What's my sock clothes on? I feel like it's the same.
That does sometimes happen. If the sock, that's why I would do this before. I would do it like very rarely does the sock blow off, but every once in a while it does. Okay. Is your car a name?
Betsy.
Betsy, nice. Yeah.
After the old study hall teacher.
Oh yeah.
No matter which way you go.
Nope. I just want you could put it on today after school and then just drive home with it. That's fine. But I just want it from school to home. So you could either do it today right after school and then drive home, or you could do it, in the morning and drive here. It doesn't matter either way. I don't know what it looks like as far as like this week with weather. Is it supposed to rain at all? Like rain is a bummer. Okay, let me look real quick.
But it makes corn.
I mean, like, I love rain, but like, for our experiment, Max. But it makes corn. All right, there we go. But it makes corn. All right. All right, here's what we got for the week. Monday. Where's my? All right. It looks like this is our week. Tomorrow, high of 77. Wednesday, high of 78. 0 inches all week long. So this is going to be a good way to do it. A good week to do it. Okay. Any questions about what I want you to do?
I feel like it's just gonna make you feel bad about yourself.
I never make any predictions. Never make any predictions. Like who's gonna have some really good one, who's gonna have a really bad one. I will tell you the worst ever. Okay, and this kid wasn't even in my class. He just came. He knew we were doing this. This was 2 years ago, and he's like, "Hey, can I have a sock?" I was like, "Well, if I got an extra one, I can."
Wait, do you have an extra one?
I do. You want? Yeah. Jonah Shinafield. That thing looked like it was not ever a white sock. It looked like, I mean, like a black dress sock. He brought it in. I was like, first of all, I could smell it before I saw it. It was hideous.
Shut up. You put it on your back. I'm not in it.
Maggie, let me know if you can't find one. If not, I can get you one, okay?
I found one.
You got one?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. One time, I will tell, and I will give you a grade on this. You don't do it, you get automatic 0, okay? Friday, okay? And for the most part, I don't think I've ever given a 0, but one time, you guys, you know Mrs. Collett, right? At the MIS, her daughter Amy, you know, she's so sweet. She's living in Africa, doing, you know, some amazing things. She came in, and this is before I bought the socks. I just asked people to use their own socks, and then people were like, "Well, I don't have any of those." So I was like, "Ah, screw it, I'll just go to Dollar General and get the DG and get some, and then just give to you." Well, so people were using their own socks. So she brings in this sock, and it's an Under Armour sock that's mostly plastic, you know, like, you know, stretchy. She gives it to me, and it reminds me of, like, do you know, like back in the day when people used to bronze like your baby shoes? Like, have you ever heard of this process before? Oh, your parents probably heard of it, but it was like fully formed. It looked like a hard foot, right? Because she put it on her tailpipe, and her tailpipe was so hot that it like hardened the plastic sock, right? And so it was weird because she goes, "Oh, I left it in the locker," and I was like, it was just fishy. She was real nervous too, and then I was like, I go, "I know this might make you a little uncomfortable, but can you do me a favor?" And she was wearing like jeans. I was like, "Can you pull up your jeans a little bit?" And she did. She was only wearing one sock. She had forgotten about it. She went outside during lunch and drove around the school parking lot, okay, with the sock that she was wearing that day. And I was like, "Okay, I'll give you credit," but it was pretty funny. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's talk. Let's take a little notes here if you're taking notes. I want to get into this a little bit. This week we're gonna kind of finish up some of this chapter 1 stuff. I am not. So this is your homework for chapter 1. I will not give you like a so-called chapter 1 homework sheet, but I will most likely Wednesday start to give you a chapter 2 homework assignment, which is once again, like, I write them, you do them. You usually have a week. I make all my homework assignments due midnight. Okay. That's just how I roll. You know, it's like, so I'll give them to you on Wednesday, and they'll be due that following Wednesday at like midnight. Okay. That's what I'm gonna shoot for this week. Y'all got that? And then this week oh my goodness, are you serious, Carol? Okay, I appreciate it. Or were you Cindy? Do you remember? I had totally forgotten about it. Thank you. Until we saw your sister walking across, like, is she in soccer? Or you're in soccer? Well, it wasn't you, but maybe, I don't know. But it was your sister, and walking across, and Hannah goes, "Oh, there's Carol. Where's it, Cindy?" And I totally forgotten about that. I had the twins in class freshman year, and I just decided to call them Carol and Cindy. This is awesome. Can I share this with you? So, what Cindy did in anatomy was just turn her notebook into like an art process with the muscles and all this stuff. I love this. Oh, you got the test. Well, there's nothing there. This is cool. Thank you. I'll scan it and then I'll give it back to you. Awesome. All right, where were we before that?
We got past.
No. I mean, but what I was saying, maybe about the homework. Oh yeah. So it'll be due that next Wednesday. Okay, y'all with me on that? Is everybody cool on that? And I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you this Wednesday.
What's due next Monday?
The assignment that I'm going to give you on Wednesday.
Oh.
Okay, and then this week we're going to practice some FRQs too. So I know, like that. Okay, for your response question. Oh yeah, we'll practice one. My goal is to make it easy for you. Okay, right? That's my goal. Okay, that's my goal. All right, we talked about biotic, abiotic, right? We talked about the fact that we got weather here, right? And then this is a predator-prey relationship, right? That's the biotic. So there's the abiotic. Yes, there is a person there. That person is alive, but we're looking at the interaction in this picture between the bike and the rain. Here we're looking at the interaction between the predator, which is the wolf, the prey, which is, I don't know, maybe an elk, some sort of deer, some sort of ungulate. Okay, oh, and I did show you this picture, right? And the fact that all of these things can be a part of environmental studies. I hope this year, if you're into this stuff, man, if you get to this point where you're like, I never thought about this stuff before, I really like it, so I can help you find, like, whether it's art or whether it's like, writing, or if it's politics, there is a job for you that involves environmental science. I promise you. I can barely think of anything that you can't do that doesn't incorporate the environment in some ways. All right. Oh yeah, we did talk about this, that we manipulate the environment more than any other species. Okay, so this is an older slide. We're going to talk today a little bit about the population of the globe. Okay, but it's a little bit higher than 7.3 billion people now. Okay, but look at where they live. Okay, in these 6 nations. Okay, United States, Brazil, China, India, Pakistan, Indonesia. Who's number 1, by the way? China is number 1, right? Okay, number 2 is India. And they used to say that those 2 countries were on the race to 2 billion. Some now say that India may not get to 2 billion. China might. Okay, population is actually declining in some of these countries. Okay, which is pretty cool. All right, this is hugely important ecosystem services. Every single AP Environmental Science test has a question about ecosystem services. And when we talk about ecosystem services, I want you to put one word with that, and that's humans. Okay, it's all about humans, not like, the ecosystem provides lots of services for, all the other critters, but for our purposes in AP Environmental Science, if you see this word services with ecosystem, we're talking about for humans, okay? So what does the environment provide for us? And these examples being water, timber, fisheries, agriculture, crops. A couple of years ago, I was grading an AP test in Cincinnati with all, actually that year, I think I graded like 3,000 tests, which was nuts in a course of like a week. I do get paid for it.
Is it like anything special?
Like the amount of money, is it special?
Yeah, like,
How much would you think I would get paid for?
You're doing
$2.
3,000. I hope you're making a lot.
Yeah.
I made $1,600. So it's not horrible. They do put you up in a hotel, and then they also they feed you. So you get 3 meals a day. and then two snack breaks. The food is not that great. Okay, but here's why I do it. I do it for two reasons. For you, number one, like no joke, like no lies, and number two, for the friends that I made there. So I became tight with like, there's a group of like 6 of us, sometimes 7. I don't know. We get more people kind of coming into our core little group, and they're like, I mean, we talk every day. It's cool. Like on just like Facebook. We're on a Facebook group messenger. You guys familiar?
Mr. B.
Yeah.
The ecosystem
Yeah.
services, do you just want us to write names or you want to write?
You write whatever you want, but what I really want you to focus on is when we talk about ecosystems, it's like, what does the ecosystem do for you? Okay. Right now, the ecosystem is doing some pretty cool stuff for you. Okay. All right. If you're drinking water, okay, your water came from the ecosystem. Okay. Where does your water come from? Yeah, good. Right. Definitely the sink. Okay. But okay, if I go to this faucet right back there and I fill my water, okay, where did that water come from?
The well.
The ground.
Okay, the ground, right? Some people also say, you know, like the water tower where the mermaids live, right?
I legitimately thought mermaids like
Aquamarine, is that the name of the movie? Right? Right? Yeah, it was. There were maybe you're too old for that. But for a while, that's what everyone said. Oh, where the mermaids live? Anyway, it does come from the ground. Okay, either A, okay, you got it from a well. Okay, so if you live in the country, you have a well. Or B, if you live in the city, they clean it up there first. But they also got it from the ground. If I go outside and take a leak right outside my door here, okay, gonna take a whiz, right outside. That water will actually go back down into the ground, percolate into the aquifer, okay, which is an underground river. Okay, now look, you can't go swimming in the underground river. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, but it's pretty cool. Okay, so that underground, what? I don't want to know, do I?
No.
I don't want to know. All right, it's kind of like a. Well, hold on a second. Let's do it for
Why?
All right. This sand, I got the sand here. Okay. This is a beaker full of sand. Here you go. There's your beaker. Okay. All right. Can I fill this up with water?
Yeah.
Will it overflow?
No.
Okay. Well, let's try it. Let's see.
All right.
Okay. Here we go. Look at that percolating. Okay, all right. So now I filled it. Sorry, Maggie, I forgot to turn the camera around. So I put water in here, and now it looks like I have completely filled up all of the pores of that. And that's my water table right there. Okay. So the aquifer, hold on a second, let me fill this up a little bit more, and then I'll top it off. All right. So the aquifer is this. If you have a well, you drill down into that. Okay, it goes down to about this part. Okay, and it sucks the water up. Okay, it's got lots of like little grates and screens so you don't like drink like dirt. Okay, but if you ever drink well water that's kind of tastes or kind of smells sulfury, like rotten eggs, that's because there was sulfur rocks in this aquifer. You're having that problem right now? Oh man, it's a bummer. Okay, if this water was above the aquifer, okay, then that'd be considered like the Eel River. So the Eel River is above that aquifer. Okay, if the line of water was right there, that's what the water table would be. Okay, so I would have to drill down in to get to that level, but I can't do that. Now I want you to make a prediction. Okay, you too, Max. Okay, so here's your prediction. I'm gonna pour off the top of this so that it's completely dry. Okay, right now in your notebook, put like a sand prediction. Okay, sand prediction. Okay, and here's what I want you to predict. When will this be completely dry? So what I will do at some point is we'll do an observation and see the sand start to get dry. Okay, but when will all the water in this beaker evaporate? Okay, it's a tough one. I will give a prize to the person with the closest date to where it actually
Are
is.
we like hours to the hour?
No, dead, just dead. Yeah. So I will give you a hint. It will not happen this week. Okay? It will not happen this week. Okay? But everybody can see, right? It still looks very wet. I've topped off there's a little skim of water on the top there. I don't know if you can see that, Maggie. A little bit of water there on the top. Okay, I'm gonna put this back in the prep room. We'll check it weekly, okay, for a while, then daily after that. Okay, there's a little hint. Okay, yeah. Ooh, I can't wait to see what you get. Oh, I thought you had a question. All right, so water. It comes from the ground. What about how are we powering these lights right now? Coal. Yeah, this big old rock. So this is coal, by the way, if you didn't know. This is from West Virginia, by the way. It does have some sulfur in it. So these little yellow lines are sulfur or orangey yellow. Yeah. You got a cousin named Cole. C-O-L-E though, probably. Probably isn't spelled C-O-A-L.
No, but one time when I was little, I named my cat Cole and it was COAL.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, what a great story. What? Okay, but how's Cole powering this? Okay, burn it, right? But we just burn it and it turns into electricity.
I don't like to ask questions. I just like to be done.
What's that?
Water.
Yeah, so we boil water. The water then turns into steam. That steam turns a turbine. That turbine gives me electricity. Right now, where is this electricity coming from?
The electricity.
Duke Energy. Hold on, I know.
Duke Energy, yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky, or maybe even like Cincinnati, okay, or in southern Indiana. Here's why I know that. Because we are Duke Energy, and Duke Energy has power plants there that burn the coal to generate steam to create electricity, right? Okay, but where did this come from? Yeah. West Virginia, Mountain Mama. All right. but where did they get it from? It was in West Virginia, but underground. But how did it get in the ground? Okay.
Dinosaurs.
Okay, all right, yeah, everyone wants to go, this was a dinosaur. It's probably not a dinosaur, but it was. We call it fossil fuels because this is a fossil because it's made up of dead stuff, right? Most likely plants and ferns, okay? So this was most likely a bunch of ferns that got smashed and it was peat at one time and then nice, over time became this nice rock, right? Okay, this, by the way, what I'm holding right now is about 1 million years old. That's freaky, man. I'm touching something 1 million years old. What? So once again, we got that. Okay, timber. When I was great, I was starting to tell you a story, then I got distracted. Timber was one of the answers on an AP test, but we wouldn't accept lumber. stupid. Okay, that's the stuff that drives me insane. Okay, of course, fish, agriculture, corn. There you go. All right. All right. So you got ecosystem services. I don't want to beat this down anymore, but there you go. Now, an environmental indicator describes that current state of our system. So when we look at indicators, we know that right now temperatures are getting hotter. We'll look at that in a quick second. And that could be directly related to this rock right here. Okay. So there you go. There's a chart. All right. Let's talk about some very specific environmental indicators. So here's a list. Don't feel like you have to write all these right now. We're going to break it down for you. Okay. We'll break it down for you, and you're going to get all this stuff. Okay. All right. This is a cool map of biodiversity hotspots. Okay. And if you look, there's a few things in common there about the biological hotspots. What do you think they have in common? Look at that map.
They're all hot.
They're hot, not all hot. Like the Pacific Northwest is kind of cool. This California area here, that's not super hot. Okay, down here, central Chile, not all the way hot all the time. Okay, that's one. By water, fantastic. That's a great spot. And then also, a lot of them are on this nice line right here. What do we call that line? What's that? The equator, right? Okay, what's special about the equator? The closer you get, the hotter it is. Okay, so it's hot, right? What were you gonna say, Dyson? It's the middle, right? Yeah. Something else that's special about it. Okay, it's tropical. Yeah, what makes it tropical?
All the hot springs.
Okay, you got the temperatures. Yeah, it's okay. Not a whole lot of change. You got the same amount of temperature. You also have the same amount of what? What's the P word? Precipitation. Okay, and there's varying there. Okay, there's definitely some variances there, but for the most part, you're going to have pretty stable conditions. We'll talk about weather in this class, and it's something at first I didn't like to talk about because I didn't know a lot. But the more I study it, oh man, it's cool. Okay, so we'll talk about the equator, Hadley cells, the Coriolis effect, and all that stuff in chapter 4. Okay, so when we look at biodiversity, we can look at it at the genetic level, the species level, the ecosystem level. Okay, genetic biodiversity is great, right? Why is inbreeding bad? That's horrible, but I'll allow it. Well, why is inbreeding bad?
You don't get any sort of diversity in your genes.
Yeah. Like let's look at dog breeds, right? I think about like German Shepherds. Okay, over time, what happens to German Shepherds, or could happen to German Shepherds?
A little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely some change. Lifespan gets shortened. Sure, where's the hips are really bad. Yeah, and a lot of that's attributed to some of that genetic stuff, right? Okay. Yeah. So we want genetic diversity, and we're going to do an experiment where we go. Hopefully, I gotta ask about like going outside, like just in the parking lot. We have two things that are coming up pretty soon. One is something that we do in the parking lot, and the other is something we do at the cemetery. And I think they're going to be cool. I mean, if we kind of stay apart, right, from each other. Species diversity, right? How many species since the beginning of time have gone extinct? Who's know? Yeah, give me a percent. What do you think? 95%. Great guess.
Like even when we went to Chicago, they had like the number
Yeah,
of
yeah.
species that was.
Oh yeah.
Just
That
day.
was fun. Yeah, just that day, how many were lost? Right. It was on that cool. Yeah. Okay, you're close. 95 is 99%. 99% of all the species that ever lived are gone. That freaks me out. Okay, we think there's like around like 55 million species, and we still find species, new species. If you wanted to name a species, like if you wanted to discover a species, like you're like, man, I would love to discover species and be able to name it. Can't name it after yourself, by the way. You have to name it. You can name it after somebody else, but you just can't name it after yourself. That's just the scientific rule. Okay, but what kind of species? I'll guarantee you could find some if you worked at it and name it.
I want to get a frog and name it Fetus.
Yeah, frog, not a great chance of finding. Not a bird. Insects. Is it Elijah's that we're gonna say? Yeah, insects, man. Think about it, man. They breed like crazy. They have a very short lifespan. Okay, they're constantly adapting, constantly changing. That's it. I have a dude. Maybe I hope we can zoom with this guy. This guy's crazy. He has. I love him. He is probably like 75 years old. His name is Rick Seavey. He's a friend of mine from the Everglades. He has named, get this, 60 unique species of lichen just in the Everglades. He's found them. He's discovered them, didn't know they existed. He's named them. 60! Do you know what a lichen is? It's you know that stuff on the sides of trees that looks kind of like mold? That's a lichen. Or on rock. You ever see it on rock? You know what I'm talking about? On rock? You can it looks like kind of green, and you know what you're all looking at me like, I don't know. It's a combination of an algae and a fungus. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's really cool. Here you go. Here's different. See this stuff? You know what I'm talking about here? Yeah. There's all different kinds, man. 60 of them. It's really cool. Anyways, combination of lichen and there we go. Species diversity. The more diverse species that we have, okay, the healthier an ecosystem is. Okay. All right, we'll talk about that. And then of course, ecosystem biodiversity. Okay. I just said all that stuff. I already said all that stuff. Here we go. Black rhino declared extinct. Okay, who cares, right? Like, that's cool. Black rhinos are pretty neat. Okay, but do we really need it? Okay, I like to use the example of if you're driving, can you drive a car without headlights?
Yeah.
Legally, no.
You can, though, right? Can you drive without a bumper?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
only have like half a bumper at this point.
Can you drive without a windshield? Yeah, sure. Max Hard once drove a car in January from Bloomington. No windshield. He wore a helmet and a mask. He got pulled over. Anyway, you can't. But can you drive without an engine? No. Yeah. Can you drive without a radiator? Okay, maybe a little bit, but not very far, right? Okay, we don't know if this black rhino is a headlight or if we know if it's radiator or an engine, right? Okay, if we take this species away, does it completely alter the ecosystem? Okay, you know what I mean? You with me on this? We don't know for sure. Okay, and look at this. This was just a few years ago. It made national news because of the fact of that species died. Okay, all right. I already said all those things. Okay, I've said that. All right, now let's talk about this. Anybody know what this is right here? Corn, right? Oh man, who knew? Yeah, it's all coming back. Do we have? Let me ask you this: do we have enough food to feed everyone on the planet? How many people say yes? How many people say no?
Time to go, J-Man.
We'll answer that question tomorrow. Thanks for sticking with me today. Don't forget your socks. Maggie, you have any questions? It's all good?
All good.
Okay, cool. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.